Hey guys, so I finally was able to get the Ohuhus. Um, they took 2 weeks to get in here, and that was frustrating. That was so frustrating. But 2 weeks to arrive, and then finally got them, and then I sat down to draw, and I had no idea what I wanted to draw. So there was supposed to be a sketch portion of this video, but that didn't happen because when I went to record it, it was way too light. So that was a thing. Anyways, so I'm gonna do a sketch of Beauregard, and then I'll get into like what I think of the markers, and hopefully, like, yeah, we'll go through my thoughts on all this. Anyways, so I noticed right off the bat that they didn't have a lot of pastel colors, and a lot of the colors were like overly kind of highlighter saturated. So I tried to work with what I had. That's why I chose to do Beauregard, because a lot of the skin tones were very saturated and worked well for her skin tone. And then I was able to shift them with the R11, which is like a pastel purple or lavender, if you will. One cool thing about them is because they streak and you can layer them, you can get some really cool, like, subtle definition in the shadowing, especially like you'll notice the area on her stomach. I was able to just use one marker, layer it, and give her some abadabbas. Um, Anyways, so there's a lot you can do with markers. One, I think this is a really affordable set that is a great beginner set for people who do not have the money to like unload on Copics and just want to learn how to draw with markers. There are other markers, like I know Michael's has an Artist Loft series. I'll have to compare pricing on that. I think they're still $4 a marker for a brush marker, which isn't bad, but it's still a lot of money when you're just learning. The Ohuhus, you don't get to really decide on the colors that you get unless you buy like a strictly like a skin tone set, but it's still, they're affordable, and you can play with some different colors and learn some different coloring techniques with the markers that they give you. This is, I think, the 48 set, and I know there's like 144 set. So right now they are limited in the markers that they do have, and you cannot buy singles, which kind of sucks. And getting them in Canada was a little bit expensive. I'm just gonna say that. So they're not as cheap for Canadians, but they're still way more affordable than Copics. Copics for a 48 set, I think, is $172. These ran me about $50 or $60 for the 48 set. So that is way more affordable than Copics right off the friggin' hit. So if you want to learn, definitely suggest these. I have the Ohuhu sketchbook. The paper, it holds the marker. It's a little streaky, but whatever. And it goes through the next page, which I don't like, but it didn't transfer onto the page under it. It just kind of went through the page it was on. So that's a thing. I think it's, like, I just need to get my feet wet again with marker. Usually I do like inking first and then go in with marker because I know where my lines are, and here I was kind of like winging it. So I think I just need to do a couple more illustrations with them to give you guys a really solid review, but overall I am happy with them. I did notice that the tips of the markers, some of them, like especially when I was doing the swatches, that some of the tips were really hard for the brush tips, and others were very soft. So I don't know if that was just like testing or different, just a factory defect in some of the tips or what, but I was happy with them, so I'm not really gonna judge that. And I keep going back in with the same color because what it does is it layers, and I can put in shadows without having a dramatic color shift, because that is an issue that you will see. Like, a lot of times when people use markers, they want to use a different marker for shading and a different marker for highlights, and the color shift is really dramatic. So if you can use the same marker and just add shade with that marker by building up the tones, and this is why you need a good paper to do this, so it'll accept it. Yeah, it's a lot easier on a marker paper because you can like build your tones up properly, and you don't have to use like 27 fucking markers to do one illustration. I did try and limit this to the skin tone and like browns and blues, but only a few of them, and then the gray tones, like muted neutral tones, because I didn't want it to go like all over the place with color. That's one thing you have to really watch with any illustration, is like over doing like the rainbow effect on paintings, because sometimes it is hard to look at unless you're a master of it and you can like get away with that. So here I'm just putting in the Sakura Micron. I'm using a 0.1 Sakura Micron pit pen, or felt tip pen, whatever the hell you want to call it. They are waterproof and they are good with Copic markers. I have tested them in the past. You have to let them dry though, like make sure they're fully dried before you put in the alcohol-based marker, otherwise you have a nightmare on your hands. So overall, they're a really great marker for people who are on a budget, especially right now when everyone's on a budget because things are going freaking crazy. Yeah, so I like them so far. I'll give you guys a more thorough review after I've used them a few more times. Right now, though, I've been like crazy with work, so I haven't been able to do anything. Next week's video set, I'm gonna try and do one of the suggested D&D races that you guys gave me. And then I will be, I gotta figure out a color piece and my sketch piece. So my sketch piece is tomorrow, and then my teaching piece, I'm gonna go through my list of suggestions and see what you guys want. I know I think it's the bird race. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. So we might be drawing birds next week, and it's not Kinko, it's the other one. Yeah, so hopefully that'll be fun. I might end up drawing Gorgons because I absolutely adore Gorgons. Don't ask me why, I just do. Yeah, so we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Anyways. Yeah, so overall, I didn't mind using these. I definitely liked the swatch card. I was able to kind of get an idea and look at everything and go, okay, where do I want to go with this? How do I want to push it? So that was pretty good. I did screw up my swatch card though, and when I was looking at everything, I forgot a line. So the reds go into purples and then go into blue. Yeah, I screwed up. Anyways. Yeah, so these are just final thoughts. Overall, I liked it. I should put a shadow under her so that she doesn't look like she's floating in space. But anyways, so yeah, definitely do the swatch card, and you can see where I frigged up the pinks and purples. But yeah, so like I only used a few of the blues, I think a purple for undertones, the grays, and a couple of the browns for her skin and hair. Overall, again, the marker paper, it bled through onto the other side, but it didn't go through to the undersheet that I had put under there just to keep the page safe. I do think I want to keep this sketchbook as mostly a watercolor sketchbook because that is what I enjoy it for, and I like the way that the watercolor reacts on it. So we'll see what I do next week for a color piece. I don't know if it'll be marker or it'll be a combination of marker and watercolor. That could be fun. Yeah, so that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope if you have any questions or comments or suggestions for other videos, or if I have other products, if you want to see like the review, let me know. The Copics didn't go through as bad on this, the other one, but like I'm really enjoying using this sketchbook. Oh yeah, this drawing right here, I had a video for, but my computer ate it, and I don't know where the hell the video went. So maybe you'll see it eventually, maybe not. But anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will chatter at you later. Bye.